Ministry of Education launches remedial program for male students at the Grenville Secondary School. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, September 3rd, 2020, I'm Delroy Luzon. The Ministry of Education launched its STAR Invention program today at the Grenville Secondary School. 14 male students from the school are now the first participants in the pilot of this remedial program, geared at ensuring the success of students who are facing recurring and difficult challenges. Annette Moore has this report.
The program engages students who are at risk of not completing school due to behavioral, academic, and psychological issues. STAR means study, try, aim, and reach. The program aims to have students achieve the goals that they set for themselves. Speaking at the launch, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Andel, emphasized the importance of supporting young people and the rewards to be gained later down the road.
I strongly believe that this program will succeed and will change lives. And what is so touching for me this morning, that every single one of you young men here have somebody sitting by your side saying to you that I'm here like my grandmother to ensure that you travel down the right pathway to success.
STAR is a 6-month program that consists of a 3-week living camp, followed by academic, physical, and psychological support away from the school plant for 4 days per week. On day 5, students will return to the school. The program provides support not just for students, but also parents, the community, and the school. Minister Pear says programs like these are her favorites, given their capacity to change lives. She was also pleased with the favorable response from her government colleagues who supported the program once presented.
At that time, it was not just students of this school. There were students from another school included, but we decided, based on COVID-19, based on some financial challenges that we have, we are going to restrict the pilot to one school at this time. So this first 6 months would be one school. Immediately after, we are going to be expanding. I've had principals call me to ask if there's any way that the school can be part of the pilot. This school is indeed fortunate that you are going to be leading this initiative, which I am confident, without a shadow of a doubt this morning, that it will be a success.
Coordinator of the STAR Intervention Program, Dr. Niels Chaitan, is a Grenadian who has lived and worked in Canada for many years in the area of motivational speaking as the owner and president of Motivate for Change International. Chaitan is an international crime reduction consultant with a doctorate in social and behavioral sciences.
All we want to do is to rebrand your son. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for a great time. Young men, this isn't a prison, man. This is fun. But they're going to be respectful fun. Is that okay? Ladies and gentlemen, until then, young men are looking so wonderful today. Until then, I look forward to see you, the team looking forward to see you next week as we start the process of rebranding. God bless you, everybody.
The program will commence within the first few weeks of the Michaelmas term. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. Construction work is progressing on the Hill Brizan Pre-Primary School at Bushaju, St. George. The contract for work on the institution was awarded to Hanover Construction Company, with consultancy work contracted to Glean's Construction and Engineering Company. Managing Director of Glean's Construction, Carlisle Glean Jr., during an exclusive interview with the GIS at the construction site, said he is pleased with the progress of the construction work in light of a few challenges with the weather. He says one of the key concerns in selecting the Bushaju site for the construction of the school was that of drainage.
We're progressing smoothly. It was the single major challenge on the site. It's in the floodplain area, as is the entire coastline of the island. But that's where people are, and that's where the facilities must be. So what we did was use the existing drains around to ensure that we're at an elevation where whatever water comes onto the property could be directed to the existing drains easily. And that the drains that we're using on the site are all easily maintained, meaning the covers for the drain would be removable.
Junior civil engineer on the site, Tiffany Donald, says 50% of the construction work is already complete and gave an update as to what stage of construction they are at the moment.
We are in the process of casting ring beams and putting on the roof. We have completed about 90% of the roof frame. This week we plan to commence putting on the ply, and we also plan to commence the plastering.
Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northwest, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, said he is delighted with the work that is taking place in his constituency, but more so across Grenada.
With the preschool project, that has been a burning issue for the constituency for years, particularly the Hill Brizan Granville Vale area, the need for that particular school. So we are very happy to see that one on stream and ready to be completed in a reasonable period of time.
The Hill Brizan Pre-Primary School is projected to be completed in December 2020. This is the National Report. Stay with us, we'll have more news when we return.
The house was shaking, then started the story here, babe, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and SEDERA.
Welcome back. The Royal Grenada Police Force has welcomed 22 new members to its fold. They graduated during a ceremony at Camp Salines on Thursday, following completion of a 9-week Special Initial Training Course, number 2. The training, which commenced in July, focused on areas of general policing, traffic management, administration, road safety, and personal development. The course ended with an exceptional 76% pass rate. Chief Training Instructor, Woman Inspector Maureen John, commended the officers on a job well done in the midst of the uncertainties of COVID-19.
In the delivery of these subject areas, instructors became creative and worked closely with students who needed extra tutoring and other assistance. Peer learning was also a huge aspect of the classroom interactions, as students shared of their experiences over the years, lending much support to the information disseminated by the instructors and reinforcing learning. Practical demonstrations were highly encouraged and constituted the final exam completed by the students with amazing results. 5 progress tests were also completed. At the end, when the scores of all the disciplines tested were tabulated, every student achieved a passing grade, with the highest individual average being 84% and the course average 76%. A tremendous feat, taking into consideration that some of these students have not sat in a classroom setting for eons and are over 40 and 50 years old.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Franklin Redhead reminded the officers that they are ambassadors of the police force. He stressed that they are now guardians and protectors of every community they serve.
Police officers are woven from exquisite fabric, cut from cloth that most will never have the courage or the conviction to wear, and to stand separate from the masses and to carry out these solemn duties and responsibilities in spite of the odds or circumstances. In your case, the transformation that this relatively brief sojourn at our training academy will have influenced must mystify and amaze your peers with manifestly tangible changes in behaviors, technical acumen, and attitudes. If you do this right, I predict that policing will be the hardest job you'll ever love. When you tend to the broken lives of those in crisis, when you remove the defenseless from harm's way, when you are the quiet hero that saves lives that no one else will ever know about, you are bringing humanity and genuine altruism back to a world starved for it.
Top graduating student, woman police constable Licia James, challenged her colleagues to continue rising above challenges faced on the job as they put the training they received into practice to embrace new beginnings.
In our success over the challenges, no one will applaud like they will today. Let's make today's achievement meaningful. To my dear colleagues, let us go out there and exceed expectations and continue to serve and protect the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique with confidence. As we leave these gates and we go our separate ways, carrying with us the memories and the bonds we have created, we will now be embarking on a new journey in our careers. Let us keep our graduation theme in mind. We are embracing a new beginning.
8 awards were distributed by Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin. Among them are Best at Physical, Police Constable Kellan Lett; Best at Academics, Woman Police Constable Keturah George; Best at Drills, Police Constable Shondal Amede; Best Pistol Shot, Woman Police Constable Ronisha Redhead. And finally in the news, government has committed an additional $1.9 million to provide supplementary services for schools through the Tri-Island State. This as the Ministry of Education prepares to reopen schools on September 7th in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Education Minister the Honorable Emmeline Pear, during an address to the nation on Wednesday, said the 2020 Michaelmas term will be held under the theme, Trusting God. We will pursue our goals with determination. From September 7th, all schools will proceed with a staggered, blended approach to learning and teaching. The additional funding caters to cleaning and other services and expenses for schools during the COVID-19 period.
Some secondary school principals will make some minor changes to the schedule for the first week due to prevailing circumstances and have committed to ensuring that all parents will be made aware of their school-specific schedules. These schools are Wesley College, Anglican High School, St. Joseph's Convent Grenville, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School, Grenada Christian Academy, St. John's Christian Secondary School, St. Rose Modern Secondary School, Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive School, and the Victoria School for Special Education. All other schools will use the national standard schedule during the first and second week. Thereafter, the school-specific plan will kick in.
She highlighted that minor adjustments will be made to some school-specific plans. Although the Ministry of Education has developed a national schedule, some principals of different institutions will make changes to the outline of the plan, which will be announced soon.
This may be necessary, particularly due to limited space. Although the National COVID-19 Committee has approved the 3-feet physical distancing in the classroom, schools will implement it based on their level of comfort. Schools will employ their own strategies for blended learning, as each school is indeed unique. The school-specific plans, though, must be approved by the Ministry of Education to ensure basic standards are maintained across the board.
That story concludes the national report for Thursday, 3rd September 2020. Recapping the headline, Ministry of Education launches remedial program for male students at the Grenville Secondary School. That's all from us here at the newsroom. On behalf of all who made this newscast possible, management and staff of the Government Information Service, I'm Delroy Louison, thanking you for joining us. We'll see you next time.